Hi there, this is Amanda Frankel with our Crafty Playdate, and we are back in action with our Christmas Club. We are making this card today, and we're using a couple of online exclusives. Well, one online exclusive, but I want to show you that because although our catalogs are fabulous, and I really do love them, we used to actually call them idea books. You can get so many great ideas from them. We do have some things that didn't make it into the catalog. Maybe they're just limited edition. But they are online, so you do have to check every now and then on the catalog. What we are using from the online exclusives right now is this embossing folder. This is how they come. It comes 3 in a pack. This is the one we're using. It looks to me, and I'm going to show you because I already embossed this. It looks to me like little poinsettia flowers. So, or it could really be little starfish. So it does double for other things. It has one that's very subtle, like a super subtle pattern. And then it also has this one down here that's hard to tell what it is, but it looks like big golf ball dimples. Or we're going to be using it this Christmas Club, and I think it looks like snowballs. So anyway, this is online only. This set of these embossing folders, they're not in your catalog, so be sure that you check online. All right, so let's get started. We are using very vanilla card base, and a card base is just a basic half of an 8.5 by 11, so it's no big deal. The panel that we're using, however, is not a standard size panel. It is actually a little smaller than a normal panel, and sometimes I do that. Instead of cutting the panel 5 1/4 by 4, which would be a standard panel, which is just 1/4 of an inch smaller, I cut them 3 3/4 by 5. And what that does is it gives me a larger frame around the outside. So I did that actually twice in this month. I don't know. Sometimes I just get a bug in my bonnet. All right. This is going to get put down on here. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple other things. One, I'm going to add this ribbon. I almost forgot to do it. I almost forgot. I had to keep reminding myself. Adding ribbon is really simple. And the tip that I would tell you on this is don't actually cut it off the spool until you've already measured it, and then you're ready to add it. Okay, so now I have wasted absolutely nothing on that ribbon. Ooh, but it did get caught on my finger. All right, and I am going to just use a little bit of Scotch tape on the back of my card to hold it on. So we're going to put it right about here. That looks about right to me. Yeah, baby, right about there. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little tape there. Sorry, I did that right off camera. Little tape there. Wrap it around. Don't let it bow. Don't do it so tight that it bows. And that's it. So that was easy peasy. It's going to go on here on dimensional, so I'm not going to add it just yet. I might as well go ahead and make my panel first. The letters that I'm using today come from this set. Let me show you because it's actually cool. It's called Alphabet a la Mode. It's in the annual catalog. And the reason that I liked this set of alphabet letters, now mind you, there's an NOEL out, right, for Noel. But it sometimes has 2 of certain letters that are hard. Plus, that's great because, you know, I grew up in Brazil, so that's my C Sicilia. Anyway, it has a couple. So it has 2 A's and it has 2 E's and it has 2 N's. So it's just very handy for when you have to do a longer word and you don't want to have to just keep cutting out A's for Amanda, that kind of thing. Anyway, those are in the annual catalog, but I have already cut them out. So let's get started. Oh, and we also used I want to say that it's called the bow punch. As you know, I will list everything below with the numbers that you can just click on them and order them right away from my website. I think it's called the bow punch, but I used that. I did this one in, all right, I cannot remember what it's called right now. I will come back with you on that. And then I did this one out of gold. So, and here are my letters. Here are my little things. All right, so I am going to use, instead of using regular green glue, you know that I love my multi-purpose adhesive. I'm going to be using fine tip glue pen. And the reason being is the very fine tip. And it has this little pin, so you have to be really careful and have good eyes to be able to put it back in there. but it does allow you to be really specific with where you're going to put your things. So I am going to first go ahead and glue down my little leaves. And that seems a little odd. Normally, I would just stick them on the back of this thing and then put it down. But because this is actually so tight, I am going to just stick it right there. The thing about this this adhesive is it's a little slower to adhere than the green glue. So if you're used to green glue like I am, because that's my jam, then you do have to be a little more patient, which is not my jam. But you do. So that's all I got for you. All right, and I'm just going to glue that right on top like that. And it's just going to sit there and dry for a minute. Okay, meanwhile, I will work on my Noel. Now, in order to get this where I want it, what I did was I started, of course you're going to start in one place and work your way, right? I just did my EL first, kind of put them where I wanted them, figured it out, and then lifted one at a time and put glue on it. And this is why I wanted to use my fine tip glue. Ooh, it's coming out there. You do not want to squeeze this glue, by the way, this fine tip. You do not want to squeeze it at all, because if you squeeze it, it comes out in a big rush. Okay, so there's a little on my L and my finger. And then I'm going to stick it down and hold it for a second. Remember, it is slower to dry than your green glue. So be patient. Don't rush things. All right, here's the E. I probably could have done this or sped it up for you, but I just like talking to you. All right, here's my E. I'm going to go right here. Hold it down. All right, and my O. All right, also, this is not going through a wind tunnel, so I probably didn't need to trace all the way around it, but I did. O goes right above my L. And hold it for a second. And then my N. All my letters are leaning a little this way. You will be much more careful than I'm being. I don't want my head to be in the camera, so I'm loving it from afar. So you are going to be much closer and much more careful about not making your letters be the leany letters. But they worked okay. All right, so there's my Noel. Oy. Gotta hold it for a second. See, I gotta just be patient. Do not love being patient. Do not love being patient. Oh my goodness, that's horrible. And I put my N on upside down. Well, I guess the advantage of this glue is you have a second to lift it. There, that's better. Now my N is not upside down. Okay, so normally I would pinch it and hold it a lot longer than I'm going to today. But you can see how it's just going to pop right on top there. And it is, I believe, on dimensionals. Okay, so let's put a couple of dimensionals under there. I have this pack that's just very used, I should say. Now, all those edges, you can use those, and I absolutely am going to. So you can see. Look at me having put my N on upside down. Gave you a chance to see what happens when you do that. I'm going to have to add a little extra glue to that because I pulled it up. All right, and then I would just place that right on there like that. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, N. All right, we're going to pretend like the N is on there, okay? And I'm going to add it after. Now it's just OL. Oh. All right, and this is still going to be the dimensionals. So I am going to just use these edges because I can, because they are also raised and also double-sided. And it's going to go like this. Come on, let's be honest. You would be doing exactly the same thing at home. So you can see I am not by any means a perfect card maker. I make mistakes. I don't like to edit. So that's not going to change, folks. I'm going to stick this right on here. And this card is almost done. I'm going to fix my N. while I'm talking to you. So these things are, so the embossing folders are only available online, but everything else is in your annual catalog. Nothing else here is in your holiday catalog. I actually hadn't placed my holiday order yet, so I didn't have a lot of stuff from the holiday catalog, so I had to kind of find what I had that I could make work for a holiday card. Let's see if I can get that so it doesn't show the red. There we go. There we go, folks. Okay, so I'm going to hold that down for a second. All right, so we are all set. If you do not have a demonstrator, I would love to be yours. Just click below and you can see the all the supplies that I used to make this card in the description below. And be sure that you stop back because I have a couple more cards from this month's class and I will show you how to make those. Thanks so much for stopping by. Bye-bye.